Oh, you gotta love when the heater comes on just at that time. We all know that DoorDash has been stealing drivers' tips for years. We also know that they are being sued over it. And for the first time, we're gonna get an idea of exactly how much DoorDash has been making off your money. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur and DoorDash. So this is kind of a part 2 of a video that I just posted a few minutes ago. If you haven't seen that one, I'll have a link to it at the end. It definitely goes hand in hand with this one, but this is still a different enough topic that it's a separate video. But I just talked about DoorDash getting sued for stealing Dashers' tips. Now, some people say, sorry, the heater's going on. Some people say, well, it's not stealing, it's garnishing wages, and you let them do it. You know, unfortunately, the way these terms of service agreements are written, you have to be a lawyer to really understand what you are agreeing to. And the average person, myself included, does not understand everything that's in the contracts. So that is a pretty bad defense of it. But you know, the system pretty much is what we've said it's been for a while. You know, DoorDash guarantees $5, someone tips you $6, and 5 of those $6, or 4 of those $6, I should say, goes to the company because, hey, it's part of the guarantee. We guarantee you're making this much. If someone tips, we're going to take some of that ourselves. And so that's tip stealing, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. But exactly how much has DoorDash made taking your tips? I mean, this is money that you supposedly made. This is what you're going out to get for yourself, not for them. You're getting out there to help pay your bills, make your car payments, buy your gas. And, well, we now have an answer. And apparently DoorDash revealed how much it relied on customer tips. This is from Fast Company. And it says in its ideal world, food delivery service DoorDash would pay its contractors almost nothing, relying on customer tips to cover most of the fee quoted for a job. In the real world, conditions are usually not so ideal, as DoorDash reveals to Fast Company for the first time, disclosing the share of driver payments that come up via tips from users. In about 15% of cases, customers leave no tip and DoorDash pays the entire amount, the company tells us. The default tip is usually set to 15% in the app. And by the way, before we continue on, it should be noted, before anyone says that, well, DoorDash needs to cover, you know, DoorDash might be losing money on, this 15% of cases where they leave no tip. No. DoorDash, if it's still the way it is now, I mean, I haven't driven for them for a little while, so if it's changed, you can comment below and correct me. But when I was doing DoorDash, they were charging like $5 for the delivery. Maybe $6, something like that. But yeah, they were definitely charging for the delivery. And then they were charging for like the distance and the mileage. So DoorDash wasn't charging like $1 for deliveries. They were charging what they were going to pay us. And in those situations, you're right. They probably only make like $1 in profit, but they still make something. So let's just get that out of the way right now. In the next roughly 45% of cases, customers contribute less than half the money required to meet the minimum quoted fee, which again, DoorDash already charges, called the guaranteed amount, leaving DoorDash to chip in the majority of the fee. DoorDash calls the money it contributes to make up the difference a pay boost. That's not what a pay boost should be. A pay boost should be a bonus, like, hey, it's a little boost. You know, we're trying to convince you to come out and deliver during this time, during this day, on this day, in this weather. You know, that's what a boost should be. It should not be just the guarantee. Like, the guarantee should be like, no, you get that one way or the other. That's not a boost. A boost is an incentive, in my opinion, but maybe they disagree. That news may not do much to satisfy workers protesting the company's unorthodox accounting of pay and tips, especially in light of concessions by grocery delivery service Instacart last week that set minimum payments from the company to drivers. The guaranteed amount for a DoorDash assignment quoted in the driver app comes from some combination of the company's own payments and customer tips in 90% of cases. If a customer pays more, DoorDash pays less, as little as $1 called fixed pay base, if that's all is required to get pay up to the guaranteed amount. DoorDash also adds $1 when tips meet or exceed the guaranteed amount for an assignment. Thus, drivers know the minimum they will make before accepting a job, but the final amount may be higher depending on the size of the tip. Protesting Protesting Instacart workers have accused the company of also using tips to subsidize pay. Instacart denied the practice in a new minimum pay structure introduced last week, which seemed to rule out that possibility. But DoorDash acknowledges applying tips to the guaranteed amount in its FAQ about the new payment system. And this is what really blows my mind. I reported on this a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago at this point. I've been doing this channel for a while. Over 1,000 videos. Jeez, I talk a lot. But anyway, enough reminiscing about when I was new and idealistic and a little bit fatter to boot. I was talking about this years ago. And DoorDash is frank about it on their site, on their FAQ page. Like, yeah, we're not giving you all the money. And it took Instacart doing the right thing for people to go like, wait a minute. Why isn't DoorDash doing that? I'm actually kind of surprised that people aren't on Amazon's case about this, because Amazon Flex does this too, but I guess, one battle at a time, right? And yet, all these years, and now we're just finally talking about it. That's not how tips or gratuities are supposed to work, says economist Sylvia Allegretto of the Institute for Research on Labor and Employment at the University of California, Berkeley. In a case like DoorDash's, tips become part of a wage subsidy instead of becoming a gratuity, she says. I think most customers intend for them to be a gratuity. Oh, I would actually assume like 98%. I don't think you'd find too many people who's like, I'm giving this tip so that the company does not. No. They don't care about the company. If they're giving the tip to the driver or the dasher or whoever it is, they want that person to have it for giving them the good service. So yeah, I would say that's fair. One way to ensure that, says Allegretto, is to tip in cash, not in the app. Ignorant of how much the customer tips, DoorDash has to pay out 100% of the guaranteed amount. Protesting Instacart workers had been encouraging customers to do something similar by leaving just a 22-cent tip that forced the company to pay more. Now, by the way, it's interesting that they bring up the 22-cent tip that Instacart workers were trying to get on a nationwide scale, and then Instacart backpedaled, which made the thing totally a useless campaign, which is good. But I don't know if that would actually work for DoorDash. I think if you tip 22 cents on the DoorDash app and then you adjusted it later, I think DoorDash would just adjust their payment. I think they would do that. I can't prove it. I'm not saying that they are going to do that, but I assume they would. Criticisms aside, 80% of contractors called Dashers are happy with the current pay system, says DoorDash, based on worker surveys conducted since the system was introduced in late 2007. I always love how they always say, oh, well, we did this survey, and 80% is like, yeah, do you have the survey in hand? Like, can you show us the results of that? And, of course, since it's coming from you, DoorDash, how can I trust it? I'm actually going to, I'm going to put, like, I know I've got, like, a much, much smaller reach than DoorDash. Heck, I don't even have as much DoorDash viewers as some other gig economy Uber tubers out there, like Paid to Drive and Blessed Driver. But I'm going to put a poll on my channel and say, hey, are you happy with DoorDash's pay structure? Yes or no? We'll see what my survey says. Previously, tips were awarded on top of fees from DoorDash, but overall compensation was slower, says the company. Sorry, my nose is itching. DoorDash says that contractors are being paid better overall with a new algorithm that calculates the real amount of work that goes into assignment. As an example, a representative compared the hassle of trudging to pick up an order at a downtown location versus bringing it into a restaurant at a shopping mall. In late 2018, Instacart also introduced an algorithm intended to better reflect the effort in a particular job. That would be nice because, boy, there were certain places picking up from DoorDash. It's like I'd actually cancel orders sometimes because it's like I couldn't get a place to park, and I couldn't, like, the time it would take to get that order was so much greater than what I was going to get that it was like, you know what, I'm going to lose money at this point. I gotta let it go. Still, 20% of DoorDash contractors are dissatisfied with the current pay system based on the company's own measurements, including what they call a lack of transparency in how pay is calculated. Industry consultant Jake Kronberg, aka Gig Coach Jake, recently posted an extensive critique of DoorDash's pay system on YouTube. Oh, congratulations, Jake, for getting mentioned. I always love it when I see an Uber tuber quoted in one of these articles. But dude, Fast Company, I had that video up 2 years ago. Are you kidding me? Oh, well, whatever. As long as the message getting out there, right? Not many contractors are voting with their feet, according to DoorDash, which says the retention and overall satisfaction have increased significantly. Under the new model, it declines, however, to quantify how much retention has improved because they probably don't retain a lot. Nor does DoorDash say how the new algorithm and practice of counting tips towards fees have affected its bottom line. That's critical information at this stage of DoorDash's evolution, according to Bloomberg. DoorDash Chief Financial Officer Prabir Adakar stated that the company is planning for an IPO, though he did not specify when it would take place. DoorDash refused to confirm or deny Bloomberg's reporting when we inquired. It's funny, they don't even deny it. In an official statement sent to Fast Company, DoorDash states, DoorDash's pay model provides transparency, consistency, and predictability, having extensively tested pay models with our Dasher community. We believe our model best serves both Dashers and customers. Based on Dasher input, it was designed to ensure that Dashers are more fairly compensated for every delivery. Yeah, but they were compensated that $5 before the tips were being added to the compensation. DoorDash always pays drivers a fixed pay plus 100% of their customer tips, except you don't say that. You don't even say it on your FAQ. We will continue to protect Dashers with boost pay in cases where earnings would otherwise be insufficient to cover the effort. Since implementing this pay model in 2017, Dasher retention and overall satisfaction have increased significantly while average delivery times have decreased. We believe in, you know what, that's a BS. That is such a BS statement. Because on their FAQs, they actually state that, yeah, your tips will count towards your base pay. And here they are saying like, oh no, you will pay the base pay plus 100% of tips. No, you're not doing that. That's where you're getting sued. But here's the other thing. Let's just take a moment back. Let's take a step back. Let's say they're being just honest. Like, hey, you know what? If we didn't do this, we'd give that extra $4 because otherwise the pay would be insufficient. And it's like, well, why are you only charging $1 from the customers? And if they say, oh, well, we're charging $5, but really we should be keeping $4 of that because that's for us. Otherwise, we can't make business. Like, no, that's not how it works. You charge what you have to charge to pay us and you get your cut. And then the tips are bonus. But if you're not doing a price model that makes sense financially, then by the way, that IPO is going to not be worth much of anything. But that's how business works. You have to figure that out. You have to say, okay, these are my expenses. What do I charge to cover the expenses and make sure I still make money? So you can't be playing the victim, because if you're pricing it in a way where it's like you need to start taking out of the tip jar to cover your expenses, then you're just not pricing it properly. You're not pricing it properly at all. Now, what's sad about this article, it honestly didn't explain exactly how much they got from this. It's funny, it's a 4-minute read. It's like, no, and here we are 12 minutes later, something like that. But we do know that at least 45% of cases, customers contribute less than half the money required to meet the minimum quoted fee. So this is 45% of drivers who are having their tips partially docked. That's a lot of $4 to be docking. So, and in 90% of cases, there's the company's own and customer tips. That's bad. Yeah, no, I hope they lose that lawsuit. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all I can really say about this right now. What says you folks? Do you buy DoorDash's explanation? Do you think they do not deserve to be sued? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you will get access to my exclusive Patreon blog. Also, don't forget to check out my new channel, Apptrepreneur Vlogs, with more bonus content coming soon. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.